risky one. Shit's hit the fan, we're overrun. Sending boys in the trucks with the 50 cals. Tell every swinging neck, bring extra rounds. Hang in now, boys, we're on our way. Don't send them all to heaven before we get a taste. Whoa, cry havoc, let's slit the doors of war. What you gonna do?
What's happening, folks? Welcome to another edition of the Double S Podcast. We are live tonight. We're back. As promised, we're like a bad penny. We always turn up. Sunday nights, here we are. We're going to get this thing fired up. It's going to be a show tonight. I've got two of the smartest people that I know joining us tonight. And once you see them, you're going to realize my friend circle is very small. No, not at all. These guys are great. I am so honored that both these cats are showing up here tonight to jump in and chew on this topic here. We got a good one tonight. AI data centers. If you don't know anything about them just yet, you're gonna by the end of this deal tonight. You should understand them a little bit more. We're gonna dig in. We're gonna talk some what ifs. We're gonna talk the what's, the ins and outs, and is there something? I mean, dude, I'm from the era of Skynet. I remember it. All right. First and foremost, I remember everything about it. John Connor, Sarah Connor, the whole shebang. How real is that? Let's find out. You know what? AI is the big topic, right? I mean, it's everywhere. Good Lord. If I see another AI logo generation character, being created online, I'm going to puke. It's everywhere. Well, what runs that? We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. Before we do that, let's go ahead and pay the bills here. Every episode of the Double S Podcast brought to you by the Romans Warrior Foundation. Hashtag helping is healing. Go check them out if you're looking for ways that you can contribute to an organization that is finding ways, alternative ways to help heal our brothers and sisters around this country. From the events that we do to interventions that are needed, to the field ops division, of course, then to the Global War on Terror's Wall of Remembrance, mobile monument that travels around the country. Go check out romanswarriorfoundation.org and you'll find all the great info there. Also, as I just mentioned, the GWAT Wall. At GWAT Wall, you can follow along there and see where this memorial is going. If you have an event that's going on in a town, you got something big that's happening there and you want to take it to the next level, get a hold of the Romans Warrior Foundation, check them out, and get that mobile monument in there. It's the only mobile monument right now in the United States that's traveling around that is dedicated to the entire GWAT era. That's 83 all the way to the debacle withdrawal. This is the only memorial that is dedicated to that entire piece there. Of course, our little outfit, True Patriot Outfitters, doing what we can out there in the outdoor space, removing isolation, restoring mission and purpose, building community, man. That's what it's all about. That's what we're doing with our kayak fishing and camping trips. If you want to find out more, go out to truepatriotoutfitters.org. Of course, the Heroes Media Group. Without Adam Bird, all the fantastic podcasts that are out there, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. We're proud and honored to be a part of this awesome network out here. I'm telling you, go check out their website. Look under the podcast section. Something almost every night, there's a show going off, and there's content for everyone. Resources, entertainment, you name it. It's out there. Go check them out. Some great podcasts that are on the Heroes Media Group network. And the sister company, HMG Beverage. I am biased. Kickstart. That's my thing. All right. That's the sister company to Heroes Media Group. Veteran owned, ground by the man himself. With a grinding stone is what I'm betting. That's what I envision. He's just in there with a little cup and a stone, and he's grinding coffee beans away. Just because he's that badass. Hey, coming up, March, Conscious, New Mexico, March 14th. We are so close, dude. We are getting really, really close here. New Mexico Bassmaster Kayak Club has been showing out. We are right around 20 people signed up. Of that, 16, 17 of those are vets, first responders. We're going to have a blast down here. It's a gathering. We're getting together. We're going to eat. We're going to fish. We're going to tell inappropriate jokes. It's going to be a blast, dude. If you haven't got signed up yet, if you're in that neck of the woods, hit us up. Come on down there. We're camping out. N10, N9. Those are the two places the TPO will be set up with base camp. So get a camp spot around there and come hang out with us, man. Friday night dinner, meeting, the whole shebang, and then we're going to give away a lot of cool prizes on Saturday after the event. All right, the bills are paid. Whew, I'm already tired. No, I'm not. I'm just getting warmed up. This is awesome. Let's go ahead and bring in our special guest here. First, the man, the boss, the big toe, the big fish, Mr. Adam Bird. What's up, dog?
What's happening?
Feeling better?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. I could tell you were feeling a little worn out on the weekly wrap up.
Yeah, it was but I pushed through.
Right. Excellent. And folks, I am proud to bring into the show. I've been on his podcast a couple times here. And I know I'm going to murder his last name. So in my head, how I remembered it is that he's my Mike Wazowski. If you remember Monsters, Inc., that's how. But I think his last name is pronounced Petrosky. We'll find out. Let's bring him in here. This is actually, he's actually a pretty smart dude, but don't tell him I said that. Let's get him in here. Mike, what's happening, brother? How do you pronounce your last name? Help me.
That's how most people remember it. It's like Wazowski.
Right?
Petrowski.
Petrowski. Got it.
It's not that, but yeah, close enough.
Oh, what is it?
Just Petrowski, just
Petrowski.
Americanized Polish, Czechoslovakian, Piotrowski into Petrowski.
Petrowski. Got it. Because when I first saw it, every time I have one of those dumb brains that quick reads stuff and it immediately locks in. And 2 or 3 times I've said pterodactyl when I see it because it's PT. And it's the only other name I know that starts with PT is pterodactyl. So, yeah, I have a dumb mind. But
That's okay. We all do.
Petrowski. That's easy. Shit. I always make it harder. Well, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, it's great to see you. Great to see you, Adam. I've seen you guys a lot. And it's probably the first time that I've actually listened to the introduction music at the speed that it's designed to be at. So that was a real treat.
That's Sal Gonzalez, man. He's part of our Stop 22 tour. Sal's been doing this a long time, U.S. Marine veteran. He's been doing music a long time. He's been on America's Got Talent. He's opened at the Grand Ole Opry a couple times. Sal's been doing a lot of cool stuff. I've had the privilege to sit around a campfire with Sal and listen to him just strum away and sing. And he gave us permission to use his Shadow of Death song on this piece here. And so, yeah, it's good tunes. He just dropped a new album, too, by the way, Sal did. Go check it out. Go download it. It's all some good music. Real good stuff. Sal's got one of those voices that once you hear it, you'll never not hear it. You know it's Sal immediately when he's singing out there. So, good stuff. Well, let me see here. There's one thing I need to do before we start busting into this here. I need to share this over to my page. I don't know what this is. Maybe I don't know. You use Riverside, don't you, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I broadcast to my personal Facebook page, it shows up. Everything's fine, but I can't see the comments from my admin panel from people that are on my that are watching it from my personal page. So what I stopped doing was broadcasting that. Now I just share it to my personal page from the HMG site, and I can see them then. But for some reason, I was coming back later, and there's all these comments of people talking to us, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like a jerk. I'm not even responding to them because I don't see them. They're not popping up. So hang on a sec here. We are live. Bada bing. There we go. And now I'm sharing. Okay, now we're over there. Cool. So we got that done. Hey, it's AI data centers, fellas. There's a lot of, AI is the thing, right? That's we knew it was coming. It was picking up. And the question is, okay, first off, where does AI get its information? And what the hell is running, where's the brain power to this kind of stuff? Well, this is where the data centers come into play. This is where training starts happening for some of these AI models, right? And good God, does it require power and computations? I mean, these things are no joke. These are mini cities being constructed, and fired up all over the country. I've looked at all of the current, at least a heat map of where the current major ones are located, and I don't see any rhyme to reason, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't know, is it, we'll get into that, what makes the choice about where to plop one of these things. But for those of you that have been living under a rock, what is, the AI data center? What makes it different from a traditional server farm or whatever like IBM used to run? And the bottom line is that the data centers for AI require a tremendous amount more of computational power and energy because they run specialized chips, the GPUs that are being run to perform trillions and trillions of calculations simultaneously. This is used for training and running the AI models and all the logos that you like making and all the funny pictures and all that stuff. This is running behind the scenes out there. Traditional data centers that primarily handle storage and basic computing just pale in comparison, right? I mean, these things are so much bigger. The sudden explosion in demand. What are the thoughts? What's triggering this that we need more? Is it a supply demand? Is it strategy geopolitical? Adam, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on that as far as why the big surge right now? It's happening. Why?
Well, I think when you're looking into it right now is you see that there is a big push for AI and robots and all this other stuff, and where are you putting all that information? That's it. I'm trying not to sound too conspiracy theorist this early in the show. I was going to wait until the 30-minute mark, but it's happening.
My hat's showing.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where it's like you just look at it and I think it's some people are going to say it's a control grab too. I think with all the digital AI, they want a lot of facial recognition, digital AI. It's where you're going to store it, where you're going to put it, and these are the things that are going to be running a lot of those things. So,
yeah,
where they're putting them is, I think, interesting. I've heard in the past there was talks. This was probably 4 years ago now that they're talking about building one out into the ocean.
Oh wow!
A big one out in the ocean because they take so much water.
Like under the water, or like an oil rig on top.
Like an oil rig, like an old oil rig on top, and then
wow.
Then you have to you got to run the cables through, and then the states get involved, and then there's a lot of different things that play into that. I've seen where Arizona. I lived in Arizona for 25 years, and Arizona right now, Maricopa County is booming. I mean, they're dumping $29 billion in Maricopa County over the next 2-3 years, and
wow.
They're wanting to build an AI center, or AI data center there. It's out in the middle of the desert. Like, where does that make sense? You have a state that already has problems with water issues, and you're wanting to put an AI data center right in the middle of, or just northern part of Phoenix. It doesn't make any sense, but
right. Well, Mike, what's your take on these things? Is there an economic plus to these things for a local economy? I mean, what's your whole take on the just kind of a bird's eye view from the whole thing on the AI?
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm not good at pontificating, right? I'm a more conversation. But you were in IT for a long time, right, Gene?
Yep, 23
like
years.
A data center isn't a new thing to you.
Nope. This kind is, but yeah.
What do you think is distinct from this kind versus the old kinds, other than the compute power?
Yeah, what's inside and what's required to run them.
Yeah.
It's night and day.
Yeah.
What's needed.
So from what I've seen, when these things go into market, there was one in like Indianapolis, right? And I think it was Amazon. I don't know if it was
AWS type thing or something.
Yeah, and I want to say it was something like 1,200 acres of farmland. The proposal was to build their data center on this thing, and at the end of the day, it like created 24 jobs. You had the infrastructure, the construction jobs to build it, and then like as far as servicing it, it's a massive server farm. Yeah. So break fix guys going in there, making sure that the power's on and shit like that. But they're designed for resiliency and all that fun stuff. And at the end of the day, it's not really what the communities give up in tax revenue. There's not a thing then in that community that's going out. Like
Right.
it's the data center. What goes in is the electricity and the water. What comes out is it's the internet, right? So like you're not shipping. There's no trucking jobs for that. There's
Nope.
nothing. So from what I've seen, it's like a net negative. I guess what the relevant question is, like, we're all three gentlemen here, more or less, right? Are you guys using AI in your daily lives?
Oh yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Me personally, I use it for like proposals and business offerings, if you will. I'm using it for the TPO to help me speed up proposals, introduction letters, things of that nature. I'm primarily using it on the side of the fundraising. I've actually used AI to briefly help me with a few like grant proposal questions to help me really tailor it just right. And the one I choose to use more than anything is Claude, just because it's kind of driven more towards the business, side of things. And so I use Claude more than anything. But yeah, that's pretty much where I use mine is just on the business side to help me speed through the admin stuff.
What
What
about
about you, Adam?
I've recently tried AI with the some to generate a couple pictures. I did the trend. I fell in the trap with the trend on social media, and I tried that. And then I've used what was the chat.
GPT.
Thank you. I've used that one to format a few forms that I'd created for a project that I was working on. But other than that, I try not to really. I don't use it as a search engine. I know that's starting to be a big thing that is using AI as a search engine now as well. But that's really it. I've tinkered around with it, but I haven't really deep dived into any of the AI platforms.
So it's, Gene, you were talking earlier about like this is being pitched to us by the people who stand to benefit to it, I guess, to a
Yeah.
degree, of like the next generation. We're all in the space race against the
Yep.
the Chinese and the Russians or whatever, but for AI. To what end? I'm still curious about how exactly that all works.
Well, and that's actually towards that's going to be one of the questions is, what will the future look like? And is there a possibility that we'll hit a physical limit, or is it possible that the efficiency catches up with the demand? I mean, that'll be one thing that we can chat about at the, towards the end here for sure, is like what exactly is an end game with this stuff. But the pure amount, and here is, I'll be honest with you, I coined this back in my head when I drive around in my truck. Anytime I do my little videos on opinions or whatever, it's, in my head, I call them the centralist papers, because that is exactly what I find myself as, just running right down the middle of the road. And so that actually does pop into my head is, number one, is a party going to take exception to this? Are there people that are going to come out after this? Because to deny the environmental impact is to just blatantly, flat out turn your head the other direction. To deny the cost impact of what this is about to do, like Adam talked about, and Mike, you and I are in an upper basin state here. I did some research because there's this big thought about, Colorado sells its water. Nope, sure as hell doesn't. We have an agreement that's over 100 years old that says we in the upper basin states of like Wyoming, Montana, Colorado up here, we have to distribute our water to the lower basin states down there. This isn't a sale that's taking place. On a great year, the most that we can use of our own water that's generated by our headwaters is like a third. Right? That's the most. And that's even like when we're out of drought conditions, like a couple of years ago, when we got out, that's as good as it gets for us. They set the demand so astronomically high, and they just overestimated how much water that we actually do create. And that's been going on since like 1922 when this agreement first went out. So when you look at the economic impact of water and infrastructure and this and that, that if you try to turn your head to that, again, you're just knowingly walking away from this issue, right? I mean, it's having an impact, dude, and it's each one of these things, like you said, that's a lot going in, and what exactly is coming out of it, right? What cool pictures on the internet? What?
I don't think
what
he's
is
making
it?
fun of you, Adam.
No.
No, I wasn't. I'm just saying that's what most of us are using this shit for. Right? That was, turning ourselves into cartoons, right?
Pretty much.
Right. But, for instance, how much electricity does a large AI data center actually use? So most estimates are they consume between 100 and 300 megawatts.
Take
Now,
a pause though, because I don't want to go all Adam
Yeah.
Bird on this either. But where are you getting that information
From online.
from the data center?
This one was actually just through some white papers that I looked at.
Okay,
There's
that's
some of the
good.
other stuff did come from, yes, I used AI to research AI,
Yeah.
which is why I think it's hiding some information, the sneaky shit. Because I know of information that it didn't include in here. But no, this actually came from not EPA. What's the other energy
Conservation Resource Alliance?
It could be. No. It's something from the government where they actually talk about the estimates. It's from the energy consumption, or rather. At any rate, 100 to 300 megawatts. Those are large data centers. For those of us out here in not electrical land, what that equates to, one AI data center is pulling enough power to support anywhere between 100 and 300,000 homes. And that's just in one of these data centers. There's towns out there that don't even have that many people in it, and there's a data center sitting on the edge of town of that 2,000 limit. This is real. I mean, what it's calling for is legit, right? I mean, that's that. How do you not have an impact there? Adam, who's going to take shots at this stuff, or is anybody going to take shots at it?
I think it's too early to tell. I think. Well, I take that back. I think environmentalists you'll see some environmental groups take shots at this. I think because of the impact it'll have on the environment. I got to tell you, I was born and raised in Wisconsin, and this happened recently in my hometown. I mean, when I say recent, within the last 90 days, the mayor and some of the council people decided to expand the city limits on their own without letting anybody know about it, and then sold that said land to an AI data center. People found out about it. They ended up getting it's now halted. It's being discussed, I think, coming up in April. But what I was recently told is that now the AI data center is looking to sue the city for breach of contract.
Oh shit!
Nobody wants this data center in rural, upstate, Northwoods of Wisconsin. That's up there. You got all farmland and farm people up there, and it's nobody wanted it. Nobody wants it there, and somebody did a backdoor deal to put, and it came down to, I think what it comes down to is a lot of it is people were getting money put in their pockets.
Oh, I'm sure.
Lying in their pockets. So
sure. Brick, welcome to the show, dog. Speaking of AI, right? No, he's.
I was going to play a tune on the piano in the back, mellow and mood, but
you don't want to get up from your chair
I
and
don't have any hands,
right? You don't want to get up from the chair and show you're still wearing your sweats.
We hope.
Yes, it's kind of a family show still. So, and here's kind of the funny thing. So the data centers that they throw out there, they need proximity, right, to robust power grids. That's kind of one of the defining factors. Something that doesn't hurt is the high-speed fiber optic networks. which is why obviously Colorado makes a lot of good sense, because we do have, all right, we'll see how many of you guys are above the age of 15 in your humor. We have the Dix here in Denver, and the Dix is the Denver Internet Exchange. Okay, it is a massive internet exchange hub here. Big fiber optic piece. The Dix has been in place for a long, long freaking time. It goes way back, and it's a major hub for this section of the country to get to the bigger jumps and such on the internet. Water sources for cooling, and this thing says ideally cooler climates to help reduce cooling cost. That sounds exactly not like Colorado or Arizona whatsoever. And so it makes you wonder, some of the locations, some of the states with the biggest locations, like Texas, 405 currently as of a week ago, existing data centers, particularly around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. California's major concentrations are mainly in Silicon Valley. Georgia's got 162 operational deals. Illinois just says significant presence around Chicago. Arizona, Phoenix is a major hub. Pennsylvania, your backyard, Adam.
Yep.
It's a major emerging market with like $92 billion in recent announced projects, including a massive, holy crap, 4.5 gigawatt facility at the decommissioned Homer City Generation Station. I mean, that's enough to put the DeLorean back to 1988, right? I mean, that's a crowd of power, dog. And that's got to be Eastern Seaboard stuff, right? That it's pulling from there.
Yeah, it's the old 3 Mile Island.
Oh, no kidding.
The old nuclear plant, the 3 Mile Island. That got bought off, and they shut that down several years ago. Last year they reopened it, and they've been rebuilding it since. And it's right off the Susquehanna River, which is one of the oldest rivers in the United States.
That's great smallmouth fishing in that river too, I hear.
Yes, it is.
Now.
And for now, until they drain it dry to cool this place.
Well, I wonder if you guys are thinking about that at all. Like y'all are expert bass folks. I'm just a all around angler without any sort of specialty or whatnot. Like my understanding though is like a degree or two at the wrong time of year or whatever, that can have an impact on the fish, I would imagine. No?
Smallies are far more robust. They can handle a lot more, fluctuation. But no fish is going to handle a reduction in flow, man. Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, when their habitat goes away, their habitat goes away. What wipes out sport fish is people. Right? You get these subdivisions, you get more progress built up around, and they can't stand the weeds because they can't run their pontoon through them. So DNR comes in, sprays the weed line, takes out all the habitat. We've seen it happen everywhere. Kentucky Lake used to be a legendary body of water for bass fishing, and they sprayed it, and they killed so much vegetation. It turned it into like guys were going there 150, 200 boat competitions, and the winners coming in with 11 pounds, 5 fish. I mean, it was ridiculous, right? I mean, they destroyed it. So these, I don't know what's the data center. It's, it seems to me it's just going to be pulling water, is what it's going to need, volumes of water. And that's who knows where that goes, right? Or where it comes from. Louisiana, Ohio, Georgia, Mississippi, New Mexico, part of the Stargate expansion. Dog, we already talked Skynet. Now you're going to get Stargate into this thing as well? Do they think we didn't watch movies? I mean, come on, man. And Iowa is emerging as a hot spot due to power availability. The one thing that it's not talking about, now I'm not going to rat my sources out on this just because I dig these dudes. I have on good authority the fact that we have a major data center going into Colorado right now. And the people that let me know about this are the people that should know about this because they're involved in the construction of such thing. Yet not a single mention online about this site that's being constructed as we speak. I asked AI, I did research, I looked through a couple of the government sites, no mention. And I'm telling you, it's going in right now, like some 600 miles worth of, line being drawn. I mean, it's there, dog, and nobody wants to talk about that one. So here's an honest question for all of you. These places go up. Clearly, you're not going to call up Bob's security service to protect these things, because the data that's coming in and going out of these things, I mean, there's clearly a national security piece that comes with this. Who is in charge of protecting these things? Why would these things not be like a vital strike point, quick first strike, to try to cripple our intelligence, type deal? So, Brick, who do you think? I mean, who's protecting these places?
They already.
The what?
Let's just say.
What can you say?
I would, if I was a betting man. What's close to Colorado Springs?
Yep.
It's a big mountain.
Yep.
And it's nuclear.
Inside in NORAD.
I mean,
Cheyenne,
they're able to survive if there was something really bad to go down. So if I was a betting man, that's where. That's
for you young folks on the lower part of the screen, us old guys up top here, we remember this. Yeah, Bird, you're with me, man. You're only a couple of years behind me.
That's some bullshit.
During the Cold War, 1980s,
Yeah.
Colorado was like in top 5 of this first strike. Russia was going to hit us in the first 5 missiles that were coming. One major reason behind that was Rocky Mountain, right? Or the Rocky Flats, the nuclear plant that we had, the work that was going on there. The other was Cheyenne Mountain, NORAD, the brain center that we have down there that's running. And of course the Air Force Academy, which Lord only knows what's buried in those mountains with those boys. So yeah, now add to this. Okay. So Rocky Flats is gone. We're convincing people that the water around the place, like Stanley Lake, our fish don't glow. You can eat them. It's okay. And the humming sound coming from there is just the dam, just the electricity. Don't worry about it. But, you start adding data centers. Now, do we have another high target risk there, Adam? I mean, is that going to be grabbing attention? How crippling are these if these places get hit? Or targeted?
Oh, they're going to shut a lot of things down. I was going to say that, if you're a businessman, now would be a good time to go start a new security business and then get your DUNS number and start looking for those government contracts that are going to go with this.
And you won't know when you see them. You won't know who it's for.
Yeah,
it'll just say United States Department of Defense contract, general contract order, and then next thing you know, ta-da!
Yep.
Right.
You're there. It's kind of interesting.
All right, Mike. Environmental social impacts. Talk to me. What are your thoughts on this as far as what these are we trading the advancement of AI for climate goals? Are we trading it for, what happens to the small town when the data center moves in? What are your thoughts on this? At what point does progress become a poison?
I don't even know what the progress is at this point. Like y'all. So, Gene, you're using it for business, right?
Yep.
Reading through grants and all that. That's like the perfect use case. I can't read all this shit. Summarize where I could possibly have an introduction here.
Exactly.
But I don't know if you guys notice this, but can you see your robot out there in the world? You get a note from somebody and you're like, that's not them, right? That's fucking it. That's sorry for the words.
No, you're
That's
good.
AI.
See, on this show, you're good.
Okay. Like I don't know. I've got a bunch of I use GPT, right? And I've got a bunch of stuff. I've got a fishing GPT, right? I'm like, I loaded up with all this documentation. Like, I want you using the best available information that you possibly have, weather data, historical data, research, DNR, like give me all this stuff and then make some recommendations for me. Like ask me all these questions, make sure you qualify it. Every time it gives me dog shit. It is the opposite of what I would do.
Yep.
So I don't get it. I've corrected it on basic math.
Dude, we'll make a social chat online. You can just jump in with us. We'll give you an idea. Throw a Senko, dog. Throw a Senko.
Turns out that's all you do.
Exactly.
Drop shot.
Drop shot, Senko. Drop shot, Senko.
That's all it is out here anymore. Well, you asked about the environmental thing. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what it seems like. To your point, Adam, before about like your town, who benefits from this? I don't know. People who the alleged tax revenue for the town, but like it's really not that much because you got to buy the corporations coming in with tax benefits for them to do that.
Yep.
I think this Indiana town was like a 50-year tax deferment or something like that.
Jesus.
50 years. So like your kids and then your grandkids and like their kids, and then we'll start seeing.
I mean, 50 isn't that long of a time, I'd like to say.
It depends on what kind of kids you have, I guess, right?
Right.
It seems like we're trading it for nothing. I'll give you one. I have a close family member who's even older than Gene, and they sent me.
He's still alive.
Okay. Right? But he sent me a video, right? And I'm watching the video. And what is it? Have you seen these porch pirate videos?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a porch pirate, except it's a compilation of all of these. And what's happening is the people grab the package and then the package explodes and the people go flying, like launched off the deck and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like
AI.
I watched it and I was like,
that's AI.
like, really? And you, so I watched it a couple times and you get closer. You go, that house in the background has 3 chimneys. Right.
Yep.
That welcome mat doesn't say welcome. It's just like gibberish on this thing.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, this is AI. And he's like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is.
It is.
Let me like spell all this stuff out. And there's like a couple small things too. Like the people would grab the package and then they'd pause for a second, then boom. Right? So on one thing, it's like, oh man, he fell for it. On the other thing, it's like, why does this interest you? Like to see people, you really think you can put explosives in the packaging in the hopes that somebody like, you can't do that.
Don't
Adam,
challenge Adam.
This is not how we run things here. Maybe in I know you guys are military guys, maybe over back home in the Middle East, but back here we don't do that anymore. You're just not supposed to it
anymore.
Yeah.
That's not very civil.
Frowned upon here.
It is frowned upon.
It's you're ordering slacks on Amazon. You don't need to put a bomb.
That's very true. No, and this is the thing. I mean, when you look at the projections of where this stuff's going from that Energy Council, they even were suggesting that AI could account for anywhere between 3 and 4% of the global electricity demand by 2030. I mean, we already have, don't charge your car days out west. And, we already have electrical issues in certain areas where, the demands are going. And now they're talking like in the next 4 or 5 years that between 3 and 4% of the global demand could be consumed by AI. And that's a great question, Mike. Why? Now, I can only imagine the shit that the government is doing with AI, right? I mean, we know what Zuckerberg's doing with it. He's listening to every damn thing we're saying and then bombarding you with junk mail and every ad on the planet. But what else is being done with it that it needs this many? Because, dog, maybe one good one could handle all them pictures, right? I mean, I just
you got to look at facial recognition and tracking. Like they've already done that in other countries. China's been doing facial recognition and tracking, for years. I've said for a while, and I've talked to some friends of mine that are in some 3-letter agencies, and they'll tell you that we're 10 years behind when it comes to this stuff with compared to what China's already doing right now. Everybody thinks that America is, number one when it comes to this stuff. We're number one in spending on this stuff, but when it comes to the actual technology and what it's being used for, we're about 10 years behind what China's doing right now currently. So I think the next ploy for us is it's tracking what we're doing, where we're going. You're starting to see it in the airports and stuff more and more.
Predictive stuff, right?
Right. Well, sure, if you want to say that. I think there's more to it than that. I think it's going to be more than two. I think it comes down to a control, and that's where some will say, "Well, that's a conspiracy theorist." I'll wear that hat. That's fine.
Are you worried about it now?
I don't worry about it in a sense of I do and I don't, because if you take the emotional side out of it, Mike, for a second, that's a great question. We really don't have any privacy anyway. We think we do in the United States, but let's be honest here, guys.
Yeah.
We haven't had privacy since these pocket computers were invented, right? And prior to that, we didn't have privacy. I mean, if the CIA or the FBI wanted to hack in and listen to what you were doing, they were doing that back in the 80s, early 80s. And whatnot. So it's
go even further. Remember, if you said a keyword on a phone line going through Ma Bell, it would kick on recording, and basically, boom, tracking started. I mean, they were looking for keywords back then.
The technology has gotten better when it comes to that. So when people, I can't help but to chuckle when people say, "Oh, it's against our privacy rights." Well, you kind of wrote those off when you decided to buy a cell phone. You just have to know. You got to be educated, and you got to know what they're doing, and is there ways to combat it? Sure, there are some ways of combating it, and then the other part of it is just being aware that, hey, you just need to be careful what you say and what you do, because don't do something stupid.
If I make a tinfoil hat for my phone, will that work?
Yeah, put it in one of those bags.
Yeah,
what it's called.
Wrap it in copper.
What is the bag called? Come on, Brick. You're the smart guy in the group.
Remember Lost? It was one of the guys from Lost.
Yeah, you put it in a Faraday bag.
There you go.
Faraday bag.
Yeah.
Faraday from Lost. See, we did it.
There we go. Yeah. See, how many guys does it take? How many brains to wrap around? I mean, the reality also, I mean, unfortunately, it's exposing one of the things about the green power side of things, of where where green power just is not what people hope it to be, right? It doesn't have the capabilities. They've been looking at how they could connect one of these things to pure solar, pure wind, and run it there. And not one of these places can run this way, because you need reliability. And those things don't offer that, right? What do you got, Justin?
All right. So here it goes. I believe that it's going to be too late to do anything about it. By the time people need to do something about it, it's going to be too late. And I say that is, how long did it take for AI to become popular? Everybody's using it. Kind of like a cell phone, right? Remember that? So interestingly enough, when you talk about the power portion of it and the water portion of it, there's this social media company that just bought TAE Technologies. Why is that important? Because let's just say the media group was Truth Social. And so with that, this technology that they've bought is hot fusion. So hot fusion is the way that they're going to try to power these things.
I had an Asian restaurant in Rochester called Hot Fusion.
The name of the social media company, and you caught all of the deals that are being done to bring all of that here. And then you look at, okay, what kind of water does it need? It needs seawater. So
Seawater?
It's going to be salt water, because they're going to need the hydrogen from it, right, to power this thing. And so it's going to be green, no carbon, limited water. They use the water to boil, to turn the turbines. So there's so much going on behind the scenes that a lot of people are like, we're stuck on is AI good? And they're already in step 12.
Oh yeah.
And so by the time we have the ability to actually have a say in it, it's going to be, what are we going to
Does,
do now? We're already in a situation where we can't really, we can, but remember, like, I guess it was a couple of shows ago, I said there was going to be a time and a place when there's going to be some people that are just going to be fed up and they're not going to be right or left. They're going to just create their own thing. I think that's what you're going to start seeing, because people are going to start catching on, like, oh, wait a minute, what's this? What's that? No matter what you believe on what fence that you're on, or if you're riding a fence, or you just dug the post for the fence, it doesn't matter. It's coming, and it's going to be something that, I mean, think about it. You can use AI to create an app to make passive income at this moment in time, and it will tell you and show you how to do it.
yeah. It doesn't work, just so you know. I've tried it. My plan had 3 chimneys. That's all I'm saying.
You're not getting what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is, a lot of the stuff you buy off of Amazon, that's already happening.
Any of you guys notice this little flip too? There was a time when my man Elon was warning us, be careful. This is not something to be messed with. You know, there needs to be regulation involved on this, throttle this thing back. And when he realized that everybody was like, meh, not concerned over that. Now he's like, fine, I got an army of robots that's going to colonize Mars and piss on you guys. It's like he went all in, on the other side of it. Am I the only one seeing that, or?
But you missed the other part of it, is where he put all of his he took a lot of his investment out of stock. What do they call it? SpaceX, and he dumped it into his new robot.
Oh yeah.
So his focus is not Mars anymore. It's creating humanoid robots.
Well, who was it the other night that was talking about, it will not be long before we got, actually, Adam, I think it was you that was talking about it. How long before we got a data center on the moon, dog? I mean, you could cool it real easy up there.
How you're seeing the humanoids and stuff right now is you got Elon doing this because you're going to send the robots up there to colonize it and build the infrastructure before you send people up there.
For what reason?
From the moon,
because of resources.
The moon, China's mining the moon right now. That's
for what?
Minerals.
Sand.
Sand?
They got sand on the moon.
I'm guessing they're getting something off of it. It's probably sand.
And from there, you get the moon's going to be the stopping point from it'll be a stop to before you get to Mars. But that's why they're doing the human. And Musk has talked about this in an article I read a couple weeks ago. That eventually, I think, and some of the guys that I've talked to, they're like, you're going to see us on Mars in the next 12 to 15 years. That's going to happen in, well, at least you guys, younger guys' lifetime.
Yeah, you damn yard ape. You
You
yard apes down there on the lower part of the screen. Damn curtain climbers.
Young guys, I just look young. You don't see all this hair and the 21 years of military service that do to you.
There's a reason why Gene and I wear hats.
Exactly. Yeah, that shit's getting thin, dog. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of reflection coming out of my dark hair these days. Now let me flip the script a little bit. It doesn't all have to be doom and gloom, right? As far as it doesn't have to be Skynet. What are the chances? And whoever answers this first, go for it. What are the chances that with this explosion and this demand, we see one of the great things that a capitalist society can provide, which is opportunity? An opportunity for research and development, more energy efficient chip architectures, or let's say advanced cooling technology, waste heat recovery systems, doing actually real work with nuclear power, going further with it to advance it, make it safer and smaller. It doesn't have to be 3 Mile Island, or carbon-free base loading energy sources, things of this nature. This could be a motivator in those directions too, which would all be good things, wouldn't they? I mean, if we see that, actually advance in that area.
I just have to say, what happened whenever we did the call center thing
What call center thing?
for the United States when we shipped all of our jobs overseas?
I was going to say, with the call center thing went to India, dog.
Well, it doesn't matter. What I'm going to connect a dot with. There's not going to be any jobs. There's going to be a limited source amount of jobs.
So you don't think there's a possibility that this type could actually create jobs in different sectors?
They already have what they call the Da Vinci, which is a robotic surgical system that can go in and do a lot with a surgeon. So what if we just take the surgeon out? It's more cost effective. We can
Who
get
are we going to
everybody-
sue then? When that some bitch, when that robot leaves a scalpel in my liver or something and sews me up, then who am I suing?
I mean, do you need a lawyer? I mean, it's supposed to be perfect.
Is that
right?
going to be Leonardo? Is going to be my lawyer? Some robot?
This is what's going to happen. I think everybody's going to turn into inspectors or auditors. But then who do you work for, and what auditing company are you going? I just see it going that way. I don't see. I see a lot of. We could use it to support our pipe. Like take Saudi Arabia for example, when they had all the oil and everybody's in there driving Ferraris. We are selling our advancements to other countries, and then what are we doing? I'm going fishing.
Well,
I don't care. Now I'm just going to go.
Like in the 90s, we saw the textile switch, right? That the 90s was the beginning of the factory work took a backseat and you got into the digital world, right? You had to retool. And what I'm wondering is this the next retooling maneuver that could be coming down, at least one small piece of it, that's going to be coming down? Because if there's an opportunity to be a robot rancher, I'm in, right? I want to wrangle me up some dogies. And I'll be, that could be a job. Someone's got to manage these critters, right? Don't you think at some point? No,
I say that because land tax is going to go up. Water efficiency is going to be heavily weighed on the agricultural department, right? And so when you look at already the strain that they're having when it comes to having to sit down at roundtables, the agricultural guys are mad at the municipalities, and the municipalities are mad at the industries, and then the stormwater and all this. And you got to get them all to agree. So if that's one issue, and then they just start buying it. I mean, write me a check that I can't say no to. Here you go, and I can recoup that in less time than it would to pay off a mortgage for 30 years because I have machines that's going to work nonstop all the time. Through the night, through the day. And then I don't have to worry about going to a meeting because the machine is going to say, this is how much water you get.
Right.
I don't think there's a lot to gain other than just from us as a perspective, humans. Where's our morality at that point? Are we going to be good to each other? Are we going to be helpful? Or, when all that surplus comes, where are you going to be standing?
Right.
I think that's going to be, in the long run, I think that's where it's going to end up. And so I just don't see a good outcome. I see.
So you don't see good on there. Mike, do you see any possibility of good that comes out of this?
I read 2 different articles this past week on opposite sides of the spectrum. You guys know Andrew Wang?
I've heard the name.
UBI guy, Universal Basic Income. I think 2016 or 2020 he ran for president.
That's why I've heard him. Yeah.
There's an article last week that was real big about how he's basically predicting the next 18 to 24 months. You're going to see tens of millions of middle management, white collar jobs get wiped out more or less overnight with how fast this thing is going right now. And, one of the main criticisms of that is, oh, look, it's Andrew Yang saying that tens of millions of jobs in the last 18 months. He's never been wrong. On the other side of the spectrum, Gene, is the same. There was an economist who basically compared the AI boom and like the re-swizzling, recalibration of how we're spending our time and our jobs to the IT boom in the 90s, the 80s and the 90s. And we're still not seeing the efficiencies. We're still not seeing the gains right now, even though all of these corporations, like S&P 500, 95% of them have some sort of AI initiative going on right now. It comes back to what we were talking before. for what? Like, what are we actually doing with it? I use Copilot. I work for an organization. We're a Microsoft shop. I ask Copilot, and it's like, sorry, I don't have that data. I'm like, you goddamn idiot.
You suck.
Like, I thought, please, for the love of me. Now, at the same time, I'm evaluating another system, and it's like, all right. So I can do two things. One is I can like go in and be like, all right, this is a customer. Hey, summarize this stuff so I know what to say when I call. Great. The other one is like, hey, I need 10 plumbing accounts to go after in Nevada. Get them for me. Sort them by revenue. And it's like, boom, like that. Well,
Right.
Boom. Now we're talking about, remember in Westworld, like the 3rd or 4th season when Aaron Paul worked with his like little robot guy alongside him? Like now we're talking about like that assisted model of I'm spending my time more efficiently. It can't do everything. Still kind of an idiot, but it can help me get my things done better, more efficiently, etc. So I don't know where it's going to be.
I never call Claude an idiot, just so you know. I'm very nice to
respect.
Claude. Yes. So if he does turn, Adam, what you got?
I think you got to remember that AI is a tool, and it comes from somewhere, and it was human inputted when it first started. When AI first started coming out, I was totally against it, and I called a friend of mine. He was a former DIA guy. He wrote several dozen books on AI and drone warfare, and I called him up. His name's Dr. Hans Mum. You can look him up. He's got several books out there on such a thing. And I said, is this taking away too many jobs? That's what was bothering me. It was like, you got all these people that, low employment rate right now. Granted, we've become a lazy society. That's a whole nother topic in and of itself. But these robots are taking away jobs from people. And he's like, you got to look at it from AI being a tool. And he's like, here's one thing he's like, the trades, for an example. There's a shortage of people working trades. They need trade fields right now. Framers, roofers, just general contractors, plumbers. Those are all jobs that you're not going to give the robots. His prediction, not mine. Right. And he's like, you're always going to have those types of jobs. He's like, if you focus on AI and using it as a tool, he's like, it's going to create other jobs in different areas. So
that's kind of my point. Is it the next retooling? Right.
I see that AI is a tool, and it can be. It's just like anything else in our lifetime. Too much of something is never good. Right. So it's like if you're going to abuse it and stuff like that, then it's going to turn into something negative like anything else that you abuse.
Yeah. And there's now move over to the geopolitics of this and security side of this. We are already seeing this. It's been going on quietly. It's starting to become more visible where you have countries racing to build, sovereign AI infrastructure, meaning we don't want to be reliant on another country for our AI. We want our own, and we need to protect that because that's our AI type thing. And so at the moment you start talking about that, now all of a sudden it starts going into the geopolitics of it. Now the tariffs become, another conversation again. And now this starts to step in because if we're restricting exports and imports because, we want to make sure that whatever information's coming in here is ours and we don't want the commies getting a hold of our information, type thing. Now you got security layer that's going to get in there. That's, how far does that go? And isn't the point of this stuff supposed to be global knowledge, right? I mean, it's supposed to be across gathering all this. How much of this do you see going where it's going to get that? I don't know if secular is the right word or not, for this, but just locked into, this is this country's and this, the EU controls this. And what are the chances of that, Mike, that you see it getting that deep in the weeds?
I don't know.
Good one. All right.
I think you kind of see it now, though, don't you? With some stuff. I mean, if you take China as an example, they've shut off a lot of the things that we have here in the West that they don't show their people there. I mean, that would be I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, and some of these AI models that they're going to build, they want it to be just their information, right? They don't want outside influence. Like you said, the example of China, there's certain things they don't want their people seeing, right? They don't want this outside influence coming in. And as we know, AI trains with all of it, shit in, shit out, good in, good out, type thing. So they're trying to control that. I'm just wondering, how deep down that, because at that point now you got AI wars, right? They're starting to go off, and what are we going to have, the AI Olympics? Speaking of, how about men's hockey, women's hockey, gold? I mean, flat out, dude. I mean, I'll tell you, because 3 or 4 Avs were on that Canadian team. That Canadian team was brutal. I mean, that is probably the more skilled team there. But the USA guys, man, working as a team, just guts and glory. Hats off. Like a day apart from the last time they did this was Miracle on Ice, right? The last time they picked off gold. So how awesome is that? Kudos to them. But AI, that's the thing. It just makes you wonder, that sovereignty piece. I don't see a lot of good coming out of that if we start getting locked in there, especially in the public sector. No, reverse that. In the private sector, I don't think that's a good thing. Maybe in the public sector, I understand why they want to. Like, you don't want the White House landscaping plans being available, right? Out there or whatever. I get that, but again, now we're going back down that slope of security of this stuff. How much of it is secure, and what the hell's coming out of it? Is there a national security implication to these data centers? Cyber attacks, physical sabotage, anybody?
It'd be no more than what we already have. I mean, when what was it? China infiltrated all of our infrastructure. What, about years? I don't know how many years ago. About 10 years ago, I'm guessing 12. So it'll just be. We'll look at it as, in my opinion, I think we'll look at it whenever those things happen as just an unnecessary like stressor. Like, can't go in here and get this today because we got this shut down because of X, Y, and Z. So, but the key is to get all that stuff upgraded before, because we're still operating on a lot of old infrastructure. So.
Oh, in a major way. Mike, where's this going? Next 5 years, what do you see? Give us your crystal ball.
I have no idea. Just to reiterate the previous.
I was going to say, so I don't know, and you folks see why I bring in the specialists that I bring into the show.
No, what kicked off in my mind, you were talking about like the different countries and whatnot. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
China doesn't want them to know about Tiananmen Square or whatever like that.
Right.
I'm curious what y'all's take is then about. We got Grok, we got Chat GPT, we've got Gemini, and whatever else out there.
Perplexity.
Yeah. There you go. Right. There's really different flavors. These are all private, public organizations, right, to some degree. But now I guess what I'm saying is they're not governmental organizations, and they're creating their own guardrails for it. So y'all might have remember a few weeks ago, Grok got in a little bit of trouble because it was, creating CSAM, which is generally frowned upon.
What is CSAM?
Child sexually exploitive material around children.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There's a whole thing. So,
you think? Jesus
that
Christ.
existed in that AI because the model didn't disallow it. The guardrails that are in place for the other one, you can't do that with ChatGPT. You can't do that with Gemini because it's like explicitly there by them. Because it was absent, you were able to do that. And then eventually they're like, all right, yeah, this is bad. And so they put in the guardrails for that. But now we're talking about if you want to open this into like the free speech boundaries of the world, right? Because like, well, who's regulating this? How? Why? Who votes on that? Who doesn't? Like,
yeah. Again, is it global or is it, more regional or controlled? Yeah. No, there's internet guidelines out there for, child pornography and for explicit or, materials and things that's supposed to be, adhered to. Websites have to, agree to this to be, to be up there. And I think the point of attack they do with that are the hosts, right? The ISPs. whoever's hosting the data, that's where it's supposed to be. You're not allowed to host a site if it contains this garbage.
But what do you do when it's not necessarily hosting it, but is created by a user, right? That's not there to begin with, and just in a state.
Another possibility of an open area of what are you going to do with it? I know what 4 representatives in the state of Colorado would do with it to help them get prostitution legal. But I mean,
Turn this into a
exactly. No, I mean it's real. They're doing it. At any rate, so I mean, what are the possibilities that if we do see that a global arms race, right, taking off in AI infrastructure, could this be? Because look, I'll preface this. I am not a insert name supporter of any kind. Okay, if you're a politician, I don't support you. All right, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is, because I know what comes with your job. Okay, so I don't care from the president down to my city council members. Nope. We're not going to be pals probably hanging outside, because I know there's a portion of you that has to do some stuff that I don't dig. But there has been some chess going on, right? Some movements taking place of restricting certain resources from certain entities for future consideration. Could this be another one of those next moves where we're making moves and putting certain things into place to prevent, possible, the dictators, the scary bastards, the communists, whatever, from getting a hold of that type of technology? The rare earth mineral battle. That is still a massive, massive deal that's going on, trying to cut out supply. Adam, where do you see that going? Or is it taking place now that you think? Or
which part? The rare mineral or the...
Well, we know that is.
Yeah.
We know that's in place. That's a whole lot to do with Greenland, has a whole lot to do with Venezuela, has, all of those things. What we thought those issues were about, it's a much further down the line, choke them off. If we can't hit them directly, we'll take away their toys, type thing is really what's going on with it. But AI, when it comes to that, when it comes to building that sovereign data like that we get a hold of, are we going to get in a global arms race with these guys? Is it going to be see who can build faster, build more robust?
I think you'll see. Okay, I'm going to go like full tinfoil hat.
Exactly. Here we go.
That's why you're here.
I think. I think what. I don't have it up here. I made a tinfoil hat and I forgot it downstairs. I think what's going to happen, I think the string pullers of the world are going to put it out there and see what companies are going to build it, and that's the ones that they're going to go with, because that's the one that they're going to be able to control. Everybody's heard of the 2030 agenda. That stuff is, whether you believe it or not, you see the world.
What's that? I haven't heard of it. You got to explain this now.
The 2030, if you Google the 2030 agenda, it's like the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, and I call them the string pullers of the world. They get together and
this was the whole point of trying to get globalization
and
standards to the point of getting us to be able to, like, they could dictate when we had to be in pandemic.
One could argue that this AI stuff in these data centers fall under that kind of a plan, because again, I mentioned earlier, you see a lot of the facial recognition, digital IDs in country. In fact, Singapore, I just read something, I don't know if this is true or not, but it was a big thing on the internet that hundreds of thousands of people were locked out of their bank accounts because they refused to do facial recognition of their digital ID, and this was in I want to say Singapore, I think.
Wow!
Don't quote me on that, but and you're seeing that in our airports. Like, you got people that travel. I travel, and there's a reason why I pretty much drive everywhere now. If it's like east of the Mississippi, I'll drive, because I don't like flying at this point. I just flew to Austin, Texas a couple weeks ago, and the guy's like, "Here, let me take your picture," and I was like, "No, I'm good." And like they looked at me like I was some type of moron. Like, why don't you let your picture taken? And I was like, here's my ID. I just handed them my ID and I stepped away from the camera. And I was just like, I don't have to take my picture. I know my rights. I was that asshole that did it. I admit.
Nice. I want to travel with you, dog.
I don't give a shit. Like I was like, I gave him my ID and I gave him my passport. Here's my 2 forms of ID. And the guy's like, all right, let him through. And
isn't your photo on your ID?
Yeah, but it's like, they were in the picture. Now it's like, instead of giving your ID, they take they want the facial recognition and stuff. And I was like, no, I'm good, thanks. Here you go.
They've been doing that with the TSA pre-check for quite some time.
Yeah.
Every time we step up there. Yeah.
Don't need that anymore at Denver International. 3 minutes in and out. It's great.
Good stuff. Well, did you see what TSA did? Kudos to them.
What they do?
So TSA pre-check was going to shut down because the government shutdown that's taking place. So they were going to have to suspend TSA pre-check. TSA admin got together and said, nope, we can use the resources to keep the customers flying. But what they suspended and got rid of were all of the special escorts for Congress travelers and senators. So any of the Congress and senators, they got to stand in line right next to us now. They don't get special escort in. TSA's return back was, you shut the government down. We don't have the resources for it. Sorry. I'm like,
nice.
Thank you. Finally.
Smarter, not harder.
Yeah. Well, that's the only way they'll fix stuff, is if they feel it, right? So, all right. So there's, the possibility is could be rough. There could be a retooling. Who knows what comes out of this stuff? What we know for sure, though, is that the demand on the local communities is real. It's impactful. It's large. It's demanding. It becomes especially concerning in areas, and I don't know what you guys are like out there in Pennsylvania, Adam, when it comes to like drought, not drought, where you guys are at. But we teeter on drought conditions out here like every year. And of course, because we've had a very warm, like it's been 40 years since we've had this warm of a winter or whatever. So of course the crisis alert is going off everywhere that you're not going to be able to take a shower for a week until June. And it's just ridiculous, Chicken Little crap taking place already before we're not even out of winter yet. Right. And they're already flipping out. And we've been out of drought conditions, keep in mind, for the last like 4 years. We pulled out of it. There wasn't a square inch of the state that was in a drought. But you start adding these places in, dude, and now you're talking about literally a demand of a city, right? 100 to 300,000 homes. Think of that. Think of a town that's got 300,000 people in it. I mean, that's a good size, city that you're talking about there.
Out here in Pennsylvania, there hasn't really been a whole lot of drought that I've seen in the years that I've been out here. I think back to my 25 plus years in Arizona, in Maricopa County. I mean, there's 7 million, 5 million, 7 million people in Maricopa County that stretches from Buckeye all the way out to, Queen Creek. And that's a 120 yard or it's 120 mile, stretch. And you've got, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Avondale, Goodyear, Mesa, Tempe, like all of those towns are in the Maricopa County area. And you're in the goddamn desert. Like
yep.
you're already short of water. I mean, when I lived there, I sold my house there in 2017. And the last few years that I was there, we had water shortages, yep. And it was like, hey, where are we going to get this water? Fuck if I know. We're in the desert. Like, get a stick and start looking, it's
right. What do they call this thing?
Let's put a data center out here in the middle of the goddamn desert. That seems like a good idea. Like, I don't know.
Needs water and cold temperature.
Jesus, that doesn't make any whole lot of sense to me.
It doesn't. It does not. I don't understand this where it's going. So, according to AI, the data shows that Virginia and Texas dominate both existing and planned capacity, while Pennsylvania and Ohio are emerging as major new players in the AI data center race. That's what AI said like a week ago. Basically, from that side there. And who knows? Like I said, there's missing information in what it reported. There was no information talked about these about a couple of these places that are going in out here, and that's a little concerning, right? It's like, what? Just be on the up and up at least, dog. I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I don't live in a fairy tale land. I understand some things. It's better if the public isn't involved in it, but you'd think annexing land, selling land to a company, and then trying to hide. And you'd think some of these things warrant the public's attention, right? Through this, but I don't know, man. Like I said, the 5-year look where this thing's going to end up. It's 2026, so by the 2030 mark. Like I said, any of you guys? I mean, Mike, deep answer from Mike was I'm not sure, but anybody else got a 5-year predictor, a thought on where this leads us? Brick, what you got?
We'll have somebody's going to have a robot in their house by then.
No kidding. You think that's coming?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Mike, the last big one had to be microchip, right?
This is
AI as big as the microchip technology?
It's huge. I mean, I'm telling you, by the time, 5 years from now, somebody, and I don't know not me, it's not going to be me, but I could see somebody that we would know pretty close would have it. And you're going to be like, hey, let's go out in the garage and have some garage beers and mess with this thing. Where I'm from, that would be pretty fun. But
most of the guys I hang out with are going to want to know if that robot can do certain things. I'm just not going to be.
I'm going to see if you can do this.
100%.
So
yeah, but what can it do?
I think it will be doing like basic chores and needs and I think it's going to help. I mean, here's a good thing. I think it can help like the people that are sick or people that are not able to pick their loved ones up, move them around or whatever. I think that will be one of the benefits of it, of being like.
That's how they'll get them in your house. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna. It's gonna be interesting. I'm kind of excited to kind of see it. I need a tinfoil hat because it sounds crazy, but it's actually.
Adam,
I'm telling you, it's coming.
Adam and Mike, you're invited too, buddy. We need a compound. I'm just saying, at least, I don't know, you're in charge. What do you think? 12-foot cement walls? I mean, what do we need around the compound? Someplace where we can just gather the right people. And a couple 100 acres. Everybody gets a little 5 chunk. We'll build a big-ass pond in the middle.
Better go to West Virginia.
Right? I mean, it feels like that's what we're headed towards. That should be the smart move.
Feels like that. I remember in first grade, they have those like highlights magazines or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I remember there was an
dentist office.
It was a guy, and he had the wings of his mobile plane were folded up there, so it goes right in the garage. Are we close to there?
We already have that.
It was a few moments ago at this point.
We already have that.
You would flying planes to work?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have that
You're
already.
talking to an Air Force guy, dude. Jesus.
Read the prep sheet on this one.
You can look it up. I'm telling you, we already have them. People if you have the money to buy it.
Yeah.
You got to have that stupid money.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they are. I don't think they're crazy expensive. I think
there are personal ones. I've seen those. Yeah, it's a personal little deal that you can actually. Yeah.
And they got like 18-year-old kids.
Not practical.
Like 18-year-old kids are flying around in these things. I've seen like this guy that does his whole, vlog while he's flying. Like he has this. I mean, it's not big. It's compact, and the wings come out, and there he goes.
Does he have a flying strip outside his house, or is he going?
Does have, I seen him. It was on the airport whenever he took off, but I'm telling you,
a flying strip, Brick.
I
want to know what a flying strip is.
It could be. I mean, I'm from
it's called a runway. Goddamn.
I can land
all these fancy words. I'm the AI guy.
I mean, I'm pretty good at video games. I think I can get that thing on the ground without crashing.
Right?
I don't know.
Might make some people mad. I can't believe you cut off that egg. Hey, I'm the guy on the water, right? The smaller vessel should be going ahead. The bigger vessel's gotta give way.
Got that Russian Navy mentality, dog, which is we are more metallic. They get the right away.
I feel like it's one of those things like, when in the 1950s and 60s when they came out with dishwashers and washing machines, and then it was sold like, listen, ladies, your good life is about to change. Now you have all this time to do other household chores. And it's an efficiency play, but is it really?
Mike, are you married?
I'm talking about the 50s.
Not for long.
Dude, it was nice to meet you. Like,
He's got a wooden hairbrush back there somewhere.
Do you have a couch in your studio there?
I'm gonna find this thing.
wow.
Well,
that's how they shop right now.
you're right though, Mike. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, it is technology. Is it the same as just? That's kind of the question: is how big a technology is it? Like, hey, we got a new smartwatch, or is it what happened to our world when microchip technology truly took off? Because, dude, the first computers that I remember playing games on and using didn't have the computation capabilities of this little stuff. And it was monstrous, the first things, that I remember typing away on. So, I mean, microchip changed everything, right? That was probably one of the biggest innovations that we've seen is more power, tiny little micro, deal. Is AI that next micro pop, or is it just like you said, like, hey, check out this dishwasher, type deal? It makes you wonder. That's the big question: is how big of an impact is this thing about to have?
I just put the picture or the link to the Jetson 1 for you guys in chat. So if you guys want to take a look at that thing, it's pretty slick.
Do you
Jetson
think you'll know somebody with one of these hand job robots before you know somebody with one of these?
Well,
All depends on how much they cost, bro. That's all I'm saying.
It can't be less. Talking about a whole robot.
A whole
At least a
robot.
top and an arm.
you got these things now people are buying. I don't know. Here's another one.
Jetson. Let me see if I can share this.
Oh, I've seen these. Yeah.
Share screen. Jetson. There it is.
That's
Share.
just one of them. That's just one example of one.
Oh, where the hell did it go? Add to stage. There we go. Jetson 1, leading the revolution in personal electric aircraft. Personal electric. Look at
It's
that.
like a drone.
No, you sit in it. You fly it, dog.
Yeah, but it's like a drone, not an
drone.
airplane.
Yeah.
Well, am I using the right terms here?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They actually,
Yeah, it kind of is. It's like a personal drone.
it's like a personal drone. But if you want to go long distance, yeah, you're gonna have to have something on the airport with fixed wing. But if you want to go to work or wherever you want to go,
You mean something that takes off from a flying strip?
yeah,
Yeah.
What they're called?
we're saying
A Sid with Sid.
I can't remember the name of that. What is the name of that old movie where the guy builds the little? He runs and he jumps out and he makes a gyro. It's about some geese and it's like Fly Away Home or something like that.
Yeah, Fly Away Home, the Canadian girl.
Yeah, he had a strip.
Jeff Daniels.
I guess.
I think I was in my 30s when that came out, so fuck y'all. I mean,
I don't
old.
know, but I think I was like 12.
Whatever. Adam, we need to do an old man show. All right, boys, listen.
We're from the 1900s. Like,
Right?
I'm so confused. Listen, guys, I can't even be called a Gen X person or a millennial. They don't know what to do with me. All right, so that's where I'm at. I was old enough to remember when you were bored, you were bored.
I remember we had this thing where the phone hung on the wall.
Yeah.
And it was rotary.
And when you fucked up, you had to hang up and start all over again.
All over. And you could only go as far as that stretchy dongy cable would have let you go.
And
That's
if somebody called you, everybody ran to try to get to the phone.
Yes.
It wasn't like I don't want to answer that. It was like, who is it?
If you had to call long distance, you waited till after 7 because that was when the best rates were available. Exactly.
Here's a funny thing. I remember a kid in school that got in trouble for calling one of them hotlines.
His kid's name was Justin, wasn't it?
I was not that dumb.
Texting used to cost money. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, a cent a text or
Calling long distance used to cost money. Yeah.
singular
real.
was big.
I'm-
Seven at,
I'm curious
19
as to why people have 1-800 numbers these days. I just don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. Call 1-800. Why? Just give me your number, dog. That's all I need. All right, boys. Let's
1-800 number.
commercials.
Well, yes, because then you have to memorize 7 digits instead of 10.
It's the same amount of digits.
You know it's 1-800.
1-800
Ham.
BJ Robot or whatever the hell it is. Then you got to search up the letters, dog. I mean, that just takes forever. Exactly. All right, boys. Closing thoughts here. Anybody got anything on this? Wrap this thing up for me. Any of you guys there? Adam, what you got? What are your thoughts? Tinfoil hats, good times coming.
I just keep an open mind and protect when it all comes down to it. Protect your mind. Don't believe all the shit you see on the internet.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, that's true.
Mike, swear to God, if you're like, I don't know.
First of all, I don't sound like that. Second of all, it sounds like there's a wide spectrum of possibilities, and we're not going to know what's going to happen in the future, other than, and I'm looking at this, evidently no poverty and zero hunger. So 2030, here we come.
No poverty. Yeah, it's the Star Trek thought, right? Got rid of all the bad things.
Yeah.
And now just good things reside.
What do we do? What do you guys do with all your free time now that AI's here?
I have 3 daughters. I'm pretty busy.
He needs one of them robots. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, gosh. Oh, good.
Brick, anything?
I would just caution everyone, that may be watching. We're having fun with it, but it's up to you to determine what type of freedom you want to give up to when it comes to that kind of AI stuff. If it gets to a point to where somebody wants to hold on to something, it's because of this brand and you must follow these X, Y, and Z, then we've kind of went a little bit too far. But yeah, that would be my biggest thing for when it comes to these AI stuff is know what you're getting into and knowing what freedoms that you've just signed over. Whenever you hit the check mark and I consent, you didn't read it. I know nobody read it. So if you are ones that read it, you would be there for weeks probably trying to figure it out. But I'll say that.
Don't be one of those accept all cookies things. You can accept just the needed cookies. You don't have to accept them all. I'm just saying.
Just be smart in what you partake.
That's right. All right, boys. I think we're going to wrap it up. I think we beat this horse pretty well. They're there. Need to keep an eye on them. I think the biggest impact is obviously just, at what point do you want to not sell out your entire community for them? I mean, if there's a reason, if there's a benefit, cool, but risk versus benefit, right? I mean, at some point that should be, you hope your local officials do that before they give way to this kind of stuff. And be that local from state or city or whatever. That's really what, for me, that's what I'm going to be waiting for, is just to make sure that those folks are doing that to assure that we're not getting ourselves twisted over. All right, boys, gentlemen, thank you so very much for taking time on your Sunday night. Mike, this is so awesome having you here, dude. I enjoy myself thoroughly on your show. What's the name of your podcast that you're running out there?
It's right there. However, it's in reverse, but use AI. You can translate it.
Wait a minute. Are you AI right now? Did I see 3 thumbs?
We'll never know.
Never know.
But be careful out there.
He's one of them robots.
What? Not the good ones, neither.
Is it real?
He got the kung fu grip. What is the name of your show, bro?
It's however we got here or go there.
Gotcha.
I got both.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, yeah, go check. And you're on which platforms are you firing off?
We're not big on the socials.
So are you on YouTube at all? Are you on air
Technically,
audio?
you gotta go to the website. If you go to the website, you can request an episode.
Which website?
The www. However we got here, or www.howeverwegothere.com. Both of them work.
However we got here in
www.howeverwegothere.com or www.howeverwegothere.com. And we also have
Slow
www.www.com.
Jesus, he is definitely AI. I feel it.
It's all real. It's all real here.
Yeah, so folks, rewind this about 5 times and get that, and you'll be able to know where to go check out Mike's podcast, because it is an awesome show. You got awesome people on there. It's always an honor to be on your podcast, dude, and chop it up with you guys.
It's great chatting with everybody today. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Adam, thank you, boss, for jumping in here. I know you're not feeling great, so much appreciated, dude.
Yep.
And let me know what you need anytime you want Timu Adam to show up and help out. You know I'm in.
Gotcha.
We're in there. Brick, you're a good man. And I hope you get one of them robots for your birthday, buddy. I really do, because you're a busy dude with the fam and everything. Dude, we're almost on our way to conscious, so we're almost there. Folks, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the likes and the follows. It helps us out big time, help us reach more people out there. If you're listening to this thing recorded, thank you so very much. We appreciate you on the audio platforms as well. Go check out, if you're ever interested, on Spotify and on YouTube, you can see actually the video of this stuff here, and you can see these fine-looking gentlemen we bring onto the show here. As always, folks, tight lines. Be safe, take care of each other, and God bless.